Hey y'all, hey, how's everyone doing today? All right, we're back for more character response again today. All right, so let's review our Rainbow chart. Remember, character response is what the character does because of an event that happens in the story, and it can be more than one event, especially if it's a long story. All right, the character is going to be faced with some kind of challenge or a problem. That's the actual event. And the response is how the character responds to the challenge. What does the character do? So remember, that can be what the character does, what the character feels, what the character thinks, or what the character says. So there's four different things the character could possibly, or four different ways, I should say, that the character could respond. All right, so yesterday we read Pinata Problems and we learned all about Carlos and his problem with the pinata. So today we're going to read a new story called Summer in the Garden. All right, be ready to help me out. So make sure you're listening very carefully, listening for the character and setting. You're listening for the problem or the challenge and what the character does because of the problem or challenge. Summer in the Garden. The Smith family was a very close family. They liked to spend a lot of time together. This summer, Mrs. Smith had to pick up extra shifts at her job. Keith was quite upset at first when he learned that he had to go to a babysitter's house. He wanted to spend time with his mom instead. His mom helped him begin to have an open mindset. He tried looking for good things about it. By the end of the summer, Keith was thrilled to spend time with his babysitter. Her name was Julia, and she also worked at the botanical garden during the summer. She let Keith go with her 2 days a week and even allowed him to start planting new flowers in the community garden. All right, let me escape and go back to blowing the sky up so I can type in it. All right, so let's do a review of the different parts of our character response. So remember, we're looking for the problem and the challenge, or challenge, same thing, and we're looking for how the character responded to that problem or challenge. So we're looking at what the character did, what the character said, what the character thought, or possibly how the character felt. So 4 different reactions. All right, our first question is identify the character and setting in the story. Who was or were the main characters in the story? We could have more than one. All right, so we first of all have Keith. Keith was a character. Did we have any others? Well, we had Keith's mom, Mrs. Smith. Anyone else? That's right, his babysitter, Julia. Okay, so I just typed Keith, Mrs. Smith, and Julia were the characters in the story. I'm going to make this a little smaller because I have to add another sentence. All right, so what was the setting of the story? Remember, setting can be where and when. Don't forget the when, it's important. All right, well, we know the when was summertime, so the setting was summer. How about a place? Did it say the place in the story? Well, he had to go to the babysitter's house. That's a place. And also, where did she take him? She spent a lot of time at her other job, the botanical garden. So we're going to say the setting was summer at the babysitter's house and the botanical garden. All right, let me make that small so it all fits in one area. Whoops, made it a little too small. There we go. All right, so the characters were Keith, Mrs. Smith, and Julia, and the setting was summer at the babysitter's house and the botanical garden. Okay, who was the main character? Who was it mostly about? That's right, Keith. All right, so Keith is the one who's going to have a problem or a challenge. What was Keith's problem? I'll let you look really closely at the story. If you need to reread, please reread. That's right. Mom picked up extra shifts at work, and he was going to have to spend time with a babysitter, but he wanted to spend time with his mom instead, right? Do any of you guys have that problem sometimes? I bet lots of you do. You'd rather stay at home instead of have to go to a summer day camp, some of you. But some of you, you're like, yes, let's go to summer camp. That's awesome. So it's not always going to be a problem. All right, so the problem in this story was that Keith had to go, or let's just say, let me go back. Let's say Keith's mom had to work extra shifts, and Keith had to spend time with a babysitter instead of his mom. Okay, I'll make that a little smaller so it all fits. All right, so how did Keith solve his problem? What was his reaction to the problem? First of all, he was not happy about that, right? But if you look here, it says his mom helped him begin to have an open mindset. He tried looking for good things about it. By the end of the summer, Keith was thrilled to spend time with his babysitter. Okay, so, and then also, I guess I'll go ahead and finish reading this. Her name was Julia. She also worked at the botanical garden during the summer. She let Keith go with her 2 days a week and allowed him to plant new flowers in the garden. So I saw some actions there and some feelings, because he had to change his mindset. Mindset would be your feelings about something. He tried looking for good things, okay, about the situation. So let me go ahead and shrink this down because I'm not going to type more than that area. So we're going to say he tried looking for good things about the situation. Okay. And what happened? What was one of his actions? By the end of the summer, he what? What does it say? By the end of the summer, he was thrilled to spend time with his babysitter. Oops, I went a little too far there, sorry. By the end of the summer, he was thrilled to spend time with, what was his babysitter's name? Instead of me typing out his babysitter, what was her name? That's right, Julia. What did Julia let him do? What was his action? Whoops, going in the wrong direction here. That's right, Julia let him plant flowers in the community, if I can spell, garden. There we go. Julia let him plant flowers in the community garden. So let's look back. He tried looking for good things about the situation. Is that a say, a thought, a feeling, or a do? That's a feeling, right? And that's also kind of a thought, because you have to change your thought process. You have to think about good things that are going to happen. By the end of the summer, he was thrilled to spend time with Julia. What is that? That's a feeling. Good. And then Julia let him plant flowers in the community garden. What is that? Is that a say, a thought, a feeling, or an action, a do? That's right, that's an action. So in this one, he actually had 3 different parts of character response. The only one he didn't have was the say. All right, guys, you did a great job again today. You're getting really good at this character response. So let's go to our activity for today. Let me show you what you're going to do. You're going to be doing the same exact thing that we've been working on this week, except You're going to read a story now called Bug Observation, which goes perfect with our insect domain. You like how Miss Yell's throwing in the different things that we've been learning about in domain? All right, guys, do the same thing today. Remember, you're looking for the character and setting, the character's problem or challenge, and the way the character responds by looking for how the character feels, what the character thinks, what the character says, or what the character does. All right, guys, great job again. I'll see you when I see ya. Bye, friends.